Nice.
Okay, I think the YouTube is rolling up. Setting it up. Awesome. Okay, we are live on YouTube. Hello, everyone. Hello. Welcome to Tea Time. If you're watching us
Hello.
on TikTok, if you're watching us on YouTube, hello. Miss Talia, wow, crazy Oscars last night. What the actual hell?
Oh
Boy,
God.
did you watch the whole show? Did you watch the whole show or did you tune in after the drama?
No, so I hopped in maybe like I was like 30 minutes late. So I kind of
Mm-hmm.
hopped in whatever category, but I I feel like we have so much to talk about, honestly. But you watched the whole thing,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, I started from start to finish, and like, one of the big like main critiques I have about the Oscars over the years, I'm always like, it feels too long. It feels like
Uh-huh.
people don't get to do their speeches, all these things. But they started the Oscars out by doing this Beyonce performance, and I felt like that went on way too long. And like part of this was weird. It felt like half the times it was the Grammys, half the time it felt like the Oscars because you had like all the musicians and like
Mm.
and music, like it's fine for them to sing like original songs and all that, but it just felt like it was like heavily performance based, which I don't
Mm-hmm.
mind. Like I think that's probably one of the parts I do, but it depends. Like for example, we don't talk about Bruno. What they did to that song,
Uh-huh.
they should be in jail. Like that was horrible. They complete like I don't know who those people were. I don't know why Megan Thee Stallion like started rapping about the Oscars. Like she could have rapped the lyrics. It was weird. Like what was happening there? Like
I didn't watch the Beyonce intro, but I can see her
mhm.
elongating that performance.
Of course, it's Beyonce.
Of course,
It's like, yeah. And no one's gonna say anything because they're like, what are you gonna tell Beyonce? Like, you're gonna start playing the violins for Beyonce? I don't think so.
Exactly, exactly. I think I did see
Yeah.
the Encanto performance, which I thought was a different take
Yeah.
on it, but
Yeah.
that wasn't my
Yeah.
decision.
A lot of people were not feeling that. I saw some jokes where people were like, Lin Manuel didn't show up because he saw the rehearsal and he was like, I don't want my name on this. So,
Ooh, awkward.
but oh
Oh
my god, yeah,
God.
the whole thing was awkward. Like, and speaking of awkward, let's just get this out the way. I mean, there was just a lot of awkward jokes, a lot of like awkward touching stuff going on.
Mm-hmm.
Amy Schumer had this joke where she came up to someone and was like kind of flirting with them. He was like, "You just kicked my wife out of my seat." Like it was just awkward. And then, of course, this Will Smith moment, which everyone's talked about like over and over. What was your
Mm-hmm.
like? Did you initially think that was fake or real?
When you so I missed it. I actually was like blow drying my hair when that happened. For just the 5 minutes I was gone, that happened.
Of
So
course,
when you
it's your
sent me it,
fault. You were the stage director.
I my exiting was like the bad mojo on them. But when
Yeah,
you texted me that, I was like, there's no way. Like, no way this could escalate that bad. And it did. And I was
yeah,
like, holy cow, like this guy went off on him. Like,
yeah. It was so weird to see because like I think everyone likes Will Smith and even if you
uh-huh.
don't love Will Smith's movies, you're still like, yeah, Will Smith seems like a nice guy. Seems kind of friendly. Like
Yeah.
you can hang out with Will Smith and like Jaden's a little extra. Jade is a little extra. Will was kind of a rock star, but he seems kind of like the tame one, the cool, calm,
Mm-hmm.
collected one.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
to see that, it was just kind of like, whoa, what is happening? What is going on here? And then Chris Rock just kind of seemed too like he was thrown back. Like I've seen a lot of people go back and forth about this. Personally, I have to believe Chris Rock didn't know about the disease that she had. I think he might like. I feel like he had to like be making a joke about the hair because otherwise, if he knew that she has that disease, he made that joke. That's really not cool. Like he should not have done that.
Yeah, exactly. And I think, yeah, it does make it seem bad if he did know about it and still made a joke. Like, come on, you don't really talk about that, especially like,
Yeah,
as the same race too. Like, you're just
yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah.
throwing
Don't bring each
fire.
other down. Yeah,
Exactly. Like what's the purpose of
yeah.
this? And it's like I don't know. I'm not really a big fan of like him making that joke, but also like maybe Will Smith,
Yeah.
beat like slapping the shit out of him. But um
Bitch slapping him. Yeah. Like,
yeah, I was just like
no.
I'm not taking any sides on this, but it's just crazy
Yeah.
what the two of them did, honestly.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And that's why I have to believe personally. I'm like, I think Chris has to, because Chris is a real, like, Chris seems like a really nice guy too. Like, you see him do interviews and stuff. Like, he seems fun and like, jokey and all that. But like, I don't know. Like,
Yeah.
someone said that he made a joke about her in 2016,
Yeah.
which to me it's like maybe just because she's. It's just like, I don't know. Justin Bieber probably gets made fun of every year, and like when you're a big name, like she's a huge name. I did think it was a little awkward that Regina Hall, I think that's her name, she had made a joke about, like, she made fun of Will before about sleeping, like basically about Jada sleeping with other people. Did you see that part?
I didn't see it, but I did see a clip of that. And I did find that weird, but at the same time, that's about like an open marriage, like Will and Jada,
Yeah,
they've already, established that situation. It's already public to
yeah,
everyone.
right,
Her
right,
and
right.
the disease that she is currently facing now, that's probably still like a sensitive topic to her. And like I can see Will
Oh
being
no, yeah.
like, "Mer, mer, mer, mer," like
Yeah, like honestly, I didn't even know about it. Like that's why I was so. First off, the joke wasn't funny because like no one
yeah.
saw that movie, so no one knew what he was talking about. Second, like I'm sorry, like I don't think anyone saw that movie. Like I'm just, that was weird. And then second, like I get him, being upset for her on her behalf and stuff, but I just
Uh-huh.
felt like he should have probably handled it outside because, like, again,
Mm,
everyone knew, if you like are following or listening, like everyone knew Will Smith was winning that night. So it was kind of like, this is Will Smith's night, like, oh my god, he's finally doing it, he's done so many great movies, like this is finally him getting his shine.
yep.
And then it feels like the whole night was just taken over by this moment, and it's sad, it's too bad, and like this is forever going to be what people talk about, like, and I don't think this is going to go away in like a year's time. I can see this becoming like, oh, Will Smith, is he gonna punch me kind of thing. And like I've seen a lot of comedians too not go to his defense, which is weird.
See, that's the thing I hate though. I just like the fact that now he has to like I get what he did has consequences, but like
Yeah.
I feel like this is stuff that, can't, sometimes people just can't be like, I feel like in his case he feels like he has to be sorry for all of this, like why? Like
Yeah.
I just feel like, a lot of
It
people in the past maybe had done some things like involving violence, and yet they're not really apologetic about it. And I
exactly.
just feel bad he has to be like, oh, to the like the academy, like, I'm sorry for what I did, I hope you invite me back. Like, bro, like,
Mm-hmm.
you don't need to say that,
So
like.
there's no, to me, honestly, that felt like a personal like beef that they had, that we were just a fly on the wall that we
Yeah,
shouldn't have seen. That's why I was personally, I felt like, I don't think what he did, like my own personal beliefs, I don't think what he did was like the worst thing in the world.
exactly.
But I think if he would have done it separately, not on television, because it's a family event, it's supposed to be
Okay,
like a
yeah.
prestigious night. It's like doing it in front of academia, right? Like if you're in college, it's like a night you're celebrating people. You don't do that. I don't know, like, you know what I'm saying? A ceremony. So I just felt a little tacky. And but at the same time, people have to understand Will Smith has been famous for probably 30, 40 years. He has never gotten into any trouble. No one ever says
Hmm.
a bad thing about him. People have made fun of him because of his open relationship and stuff. He hasn't responded. He's been a very good, like, seems like a very good father. Seems like he tried. So
Facts.
I don't think this one moment should define him personally. And I think it's very
Agreed.
silly that a lot of people are kind of being like, oh, he should be arrested. It's like, if honestly, if Chris Tucker wanted to, yeah, he could have, but he said he didn't want to. So it's like, that's the end of it. And I know it's got to be a lot of like talk, this, but I don't know. It's just, it's the whole thing was just kind of sad and unfortunate, really. It just felt like a little bit like a shame that it went that far.
Yeah, and I definitely think that for the future Oscars, I don't even know how it's going to go about, but like I feel like from our previous experience, like watching it, we weren't really
Mm-hmm.
too satisfied. to make it sounds terrible. I feel like we needed something like that to spark it up again. And I don't I doubt that was their plan, Will's plan, but like honestly, it was getting really dry and like I don't know, something like that, you know, needs to open people's eyes. Like, okay, like maybe we need to reevaluate how we do things and whatnot.
Yeah, and that's a perfect segue. And honestly, like personally, I think Jada is terrible for Will. Like, I think she doesn't treat him very respectfully. I don't like that she laughs at him. I don't like that it seems that, like, you know, she's so in control of the relationship, but we don't really know what's happening behind closed doors. That's the whole thing. We're all assuming based on a few moments we see them on social media here and there. Yeah. But I think ultimately, at the end of the day, my issue is that there was violence publicly, and like I don't believe in that, because again, if it's a private demonstration, it's silent, it happens, done, they fight it out with whatever. But like when you see it on a public stage, now so many other men will think, okay, that's okay to do. And as stupid and as silly as it seems, that's what's going to happen. They're going to be like, and honestly, I was talking about this. I said, imagine this was at the Grammys in like the 90s or something. You know, there was a lot of gangster rap. Like that's how Tupac died, is because of these stupid little beefs and fights. So I just don't want to see that. And I don't want to see it become a thing. I don't mind drama at an award show and like people talking shit and back and forth, but like, it's just gotta be, it can't get to the point where people are fist fighting. Like that's just crazy. Yeah. Like what if Chris just went whoosh, like would security storm the stage? Like that would have been a mess, you know?
Well, he's so put together. He definitely wouldn't have. But
he took the slap.
Yeah, he took the
that
slap.
Was crazy.
He definitely did.
Boom.
But damn, like, see, I don't know. Part of me obviously is like, yeah, slapping probably wasn't the best idea, but goddamn, like, I hope my man fights for me like that. Like, Jesus Christ. Like, I hope if someone insults me, I hope my boyfriend comes in and like, blah.
Yeah,
not on national television before. Not on national television,
right? As I say, I've been in that situation where I've done that. I've gone up to someone and be like, "Yo, you need to watch your mouth." But like, if it was like I was on like, you know, at our alma mater and I'm talking on stage and someone said, like, that would not be the time and place. I would be like, "Let me finish my performance and I'm gonna see you after," and that's what that is. It's like, you know. So, but. We've talked about this enough now. Go check my couple of TikToks. I made a couple of jokes. Go check Yao's, jump on another jet. But perfect segue. You said there was a lot that we didn't like and it kind of got stale. I feel like everyone says every year, they're like, oh, I'm not going to watch the Oscars, don't like the Oscars. But there's always something that happens. Like last year, Daniel Kaluuya was drunk out of his mind and he was just like he was talking crazy. And that was amazing. Honestly, it really was. And I think one thing we liked about that was that they allowed them to actually talk, because they're always cutting them off, which feels so rude and annoying. Mm-hmm. And this year they let people kind of keep going and talking. I think they will talk a little too much, but obviously it was a special circumstance. But I think that was something I noticed that they did that was an improvement. But what was something that you didn't really love about this year's Oscar, just like stylistically?
Stylistically?
Mm-hmm. Like maybe like the songs are too long, or like they mix stuff up. Or if you want, we can start positive. Hello, everyone in the chat.
Hello. Jesus Christ. Honestly, I think you go first. I have to think about it.
Okay, all right, yeah. So like, okay, for me, one thing I really didn't like was this fan voting thing. They did like, it was like the loudest roar, like in the theater, like fan favorite movie and like something else. And I just thought like it was so cheesily done. And like they did it through Twitter. And it's like, you have to know people on Twitter are going to not take you seriously. So like Cinderella ended up being like the second movie or whatever. And I just thought like, I don't know, it was like, it didn't work. But something from that was interesting is they did like, was the fan favorite movie. And then they started with 5. So, you know, that movie came in 5th place, 4th place, 3rd. And I was like, maybe that'd be kind of make the show a little bit more interesting. If you're like, all right, this is best actress. She came in 5th. This person came in 4th. And if they don't want to like if they don't want to hurt anyone's feelings, they could start at 3, I suppose. That way you don't know who came in 4th or 5th. But I thought that would kind of build some excitement and energy where people would be like, oh, what's happening next? Or
Oh,
like,
yeah,
oh
yeah.
shoot, one more,
Yep,
you
yep,
know?
yep, yep, yep. Okay. Yeah, I did forget about that fan vote for a second. I thought that was weird. I thought some of the choices were
It was.
weird, honestly, but
Yeah.
whatever. I don't even know who won that fan vote. Do we know who won?
Honestly, no. It's like, I think Zack Snyder's Zombie of the Dead.
Oh, I
Um,
think it was that actually.
um,
I
it
think.
was something with the Flash and Justice League or something.
Yeah, and like I know
It was
Spider-Man
really,
was
it
in
was just
it.
weird.
It was
Yeah,
weird. Like,
Spider-Man came in like 2nd or 3rd. And also, like, I saw like The Matrix got a vote, which came out in like 1990 something. I'm like, why is The Matrix on here from the 90s? And it's like it wasn't even movies from like 2022 or 2021, you know? So
they
it
gotta
was
get it
disorganized. And
together.
like I felt like the whole tone of the Oscars was they were trying to be like, let's be relatable this year. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It felt like they were like, let's be relatable. And then they started watching a couple TikTok videos. And then they were like, oh, this is what people like. And I'm like, I don't know. Like, I just felt like they didn't really get the tone of like, hey, we want this to be a more entertaining show. How could it be more entertaining to you though? Like, what's something that they could do to make it more entertaining?
Oh, Jesus. I feel like honestly, I feel like it for me personally, I think it comes down to like the host. I think the host really
Mm,
sets off like the vibe of the awards and the fact that they had 3 people, I really couldn't keep up with all 3 of them, if I'm being
same.
honest. And
It
even
was
though
way
they're
too
supposed to
much.
be like, I don't know, are they all like pretty much like in the comedian side of Hollywood?
Yeah. They're all yeah. I think Regina Hall is more like a comedic actress, but like yeah, the
Yeah,
other 2 do comedy. So
I don't know. Like I'm just like they're all just scattered differently in a spectrum for me. So I just didn't really wasn't
yeah.
a big fan of the 3 of them together. But
Do you remember that like they didn't have a host like 2 years ago, and I felt like it worked fine because they were just like different
yeah,
people coming in. Like, why is I don't get why there needs to be a host. It's just like whoever does the first award is opening it up, and that's what it
exactly.
is. And whoever does the last closes it. And I remember last year too, they did the best picture before, and then they did like best actor or something, and then the person wasn't there. It was just that was a mess too. Like they need to always end on best picture, I think.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. Yeah, and I think yeah, I think what you mentioned, having different people like give out the awards would definitely be like, or at least have different people like introduce different categories or different segments of the
Mm-hmm.
award would be more interesting because we'd be like, oh, who's next? Like who's upcoming for this part, as opposed to seeing like the same person or the same duo, trio again and again. Like I don't know.
Yeah, I know. Like I don't, and like some of the jokes they were making were really weird and corny. Like Amy Schumer like jumping down as Spider-Man, and I was grossed out because she didn't have her shoes on. I was like, please get this woman some socks or something. Like
She
imagine
don't
someone
care.
flying over you with their feet. Like it was nasty. Yeah,
Uh
and then they did this thing where like Wanda Sykes was like in the museum. It was like an advertisement for the Oscar music. I'm like, yo, you guys are doing too much. Like, cut that stuff out. Like, I know they're trying to make money with all these ads, but it's like this show should be all about being entertaining. And
yes.
personally, I think I love the music. I think they should allow them to do like full on choreographies, go crazy with it. And like that could be a thing every year where it's like almost like the Super Bowl, where like people are putting on these crazy performances, you know?
Oh, I feel like what awards does that? Is that the Emmys that does that? I forget. But like some
I
award,
I think I,
they in the past, that's like my vivid memory of like some award show. I think it's the Emmys where the host pretty much does like a performance or something for the
yeah,
intro and I'm like that yes, like that's what I look forward to. Something like huge, like a
I
Super
know.
Bowl. Like something that
Yeah,
we can all
yeah.
talk about later, but I don't know if they still do that. Do they?
No, and like honestly, like I feel like you should, if you're the host, like you're setting the tone by like however you start the show off. So like if you start the show off where you're like, making jokes, you're making fun of everyone, like Ricky Gervais did. It's like, oh, this is gonna be a night where we're making fun of everyone. If you start to show out serious, like, oh, let's stop and have a moment of silence for Ukraine, it's gonna be like, okay, this is real serious tonight. Like, I just think whoever's hosting has to think about that. And I think if you do one host, it just works better. But the problem is a lot of these comedians aren't gonna do it because they like try to like twist their material and switch it around. I personally think, why don't they let like the night host guys do it, or girls? Like they're already like doing these live shows so that they're seeing celebrities all the time, so they can kind of used to, like, imagine James Corden hosting a live. Like, I feel like he knows people, he's interacting with them a bunch, he knows everyone in Hollywood. So like he would, like, if someone made a joke about them, they'd be like, oh, he's just being James. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because they're like if Jimmy Kimmel made fun of me, I'd be like, it's just Jimmy Kimmel, like you just, or Conan, like, oh, he's just Conan. But like when you have like, I don't know, these random actors, it's like Jennifer Hudson like comes on as like, Tyrone, your movie was whack. And like, honestly, there were some jokes like that where I'm like, that's not a joke, that's just you being mean.
Yeah.
Like that woman who was like talking about Serena and Venus, she's like, well, I actually have to go against the men. I'm like, why did you say that?
Oh, there's just some things that people need to think about before they say it. Ugh. Are you kidding me?
Yeah. Since we're on the topic, who is like, I think a lot of people thought Will Smith was probably the nicest guy in Hollywood. We'll probably take that out for now. But who are some people in Hollywood that you think are like super nice, that you think like everyone loves, that could maybe host? Like, ooh. I think Tom Hanks is probably up there, right?
Okay, I can see Tom Hanks. I can see like what's her name? Jessica Chastain.
Oh yeah, people were loving her last night.
I just love I love her vibe. She's such an amazing like actress. Like, I think she could kill it as a host. Who else? Who's someone that's maybe like controversial that you would like to host the Oscars, maybe? I'm thinking of like someone from TikTok or something.
I just thought of someone. Tyra Banks. They should let Tyra Banks host.
Oh God.
Oscars. Like,
no.
Tyra would be saying some out of pocket crazy stuff. Like, that's what I'm here for, the drama. Like, I love the drama, but at the same time, like, you got to tone it down. This is not MTV Awards. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it still have to have some sort of like prestige to the event, but like in between, like, laugh a little bit, make some jokes. Like, I was thinking, if I were a host, I would like have like little things in between where I like turn the music on and be like, all right, I'm giving out $1,000 to anyone who dances right now to their charity or something like now. And they're like, bust it up. And like, I'd be like going over people like, hey, oh, like, you gotta, like, make it fun. Like, it just felt like, and like, I would be like, yo, pass out the drinks. I'm like, drinks on me for everyone on the first 10 rows or something. I'd be like, let's go. Like, like, get people drinking, get people loose. Like, it just feels like the tone of the Oscars is so, hello everyone and welcome to the 94th Oscars. It's like, is this the Hunger Games?
I know. Like, is this like a religious event? Like why are we getting all like,
yeah, right, is this church? Like,
yeah, it's, like, why are we getting so like, it's a very prestigious event, but it's like, come on, like, give some people some layback. Like, they've worked so hard
and
enough.
That's why exactly, and that's why I feel like the other thing is too is I'm like I like that the celebrities get made fun of, because it's like, don't take yourself too seriously. Like, you guys, your professional job is to dress up and play make believe. Like 2-year-olds do that, 5-year-olds do that. Like, and I'm not trying to like say that it's not like a respected field, because obviously it's difficult and it takes training, but it's like, what you're doing is not that serious. Like, just take a breather. And I think maybe like it just needs to be a little bit more interactive. Like, so one thing I was thinking about making it more interactive, like, what if they had like, I don't know, like live fan like polls and voting and like commentary and stuff like that? Like, would you download an app?
Yeah, I would. I do that.
I feel like that would be like something kind of fun. Or maybe they collaborate with TikTok and it's like you're seeing like all these different angles during the show. You're getting a little bit more behind the scenes. Like this is the first year too, because Coda won Best Picture. Congratulations to Coda. Shout out to the deaf community, the ASL community. And this is the first time a streaming movie like from like Netflix, HBO, Hulu, one of those has won Best Picture. And I'm like that should be really telling of the times that we're in. Like people like streaming. Like I was not watching this on cable. I was watching this on streaming. So they need to find a way to make it more like relatable. Like maybe as it's being streamed on the right, you could like have your own little group chat with your friends or something, you know?
Oh, okay,
and that way you guys are like talking. Like it's just like little things at like that they're thinking a lot about, because I think the show like it's always up or down, and that's gonna be any award show. But I think everyone's talking so much about how we change the show, but maybe we can change how we experience the show at home.
I like that, like live tweeting. Like people can pick out like tweets that people like talk about for the Oscars.
Yeah.
Or like share photos of people like that they post about the Oscars, whether it's like celebrities or people who are, you know, doing interviews or whatnot there. That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, and like because I would love to see just behind the scenes, like even that moment, like I know it's personal, but like that moment when Denzel Washington, Bradley Cooper, and Tyler Perry went over to Will Smith, like just to see that angle, I think like during the commercial break would have been interesting, cool. It would have given us some perspective to be like, yeah, Will was really upset by that. So like, you know, like even though he's in the wrong in my eyes, like I still, or partially in the wrong, I still think like it humanizes him to be like, he's a human being, you know, like he has feelings, and, you know, maybe that just set him over. What else was I going to say? So go ahead. Sorry.
No. I was trying to think of how we got to this conversation, but I think it was from.
Oh, we were originally talking about like who are some of the nicest people in Hollywood that you like to host and stuff like that. Yeah, but we're just going on and on. And
we are.
It's a lot. So,
I'm literally going to like watch back like different Oscar awards now and see how they did it. Like, how did they captivate our audience back then, and like how is it different now?
I feel like it's different too, though, because it's like what we say sometimes about like us watch, like we grew up, there was like 4 channels you watch: PBS, Cartoon Network, Nickelodeon, or Disney Channel. Like, so there's only 4 channels, whereas now there's like hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of things. So everyone's watching different things. And before it was kind of like everyone was watching the same movies, same shows. So it's like, oh, these are the Oscar movies. So everyone was like running out to see them. So I think it's a little bit different in that regard, because we don't consume the media the same way, which is why I was saying I think they need to find a way to make it more interactive at home. One idea I thought about is, what do American people love more than anything? Competition. So I was like, what if the performers were kind of competing with each other, and at the end they will give a donation like $20,000 to whoever their charity, and it's like you let people live vote like whatever performance, and like the live voting doesn't like maybe the live performance is like about 2/3 of the way through, and then we start live voting like which one you think were best, and like that'll get people talking like, oh, yo, Cardi B, she went crazy that first act.
Okay.
Like, how is Billie Eilish gonna do? Like that might like draw a little bit of attention and buzz to it, right?
Okay, yeah, I can see that.
Because the other thing is Best Original Song, they pushed that offline, so we didn't even get to see like which one won. So I'm like, okay, if you're gonna take that offline, maybe you have the 4, 5, 6 Best Original Songs like all kind of do a performance against each other, and then like whoever wins maybe gets the like Oscar Live trophy or something.
Ooh, okay, that's a different take on it. I was like thinking like, what if like this seems crazy. What if they just don't tell anyone who's nominated until the very day?
That's what I said. I was like,
you said that too?
I think that's not like yeah. Well, I said this to Matt like 2 years ago. I was like, I almost feel like we shouldn't even know anything before we go into the show.
Yes.
Like I think like, because that I agree, but the reason they don't is that they're trying to build buzz and like get everyone to go out and watch the movies and things like that. So it's like all about like making money. But like I agree that it's like if we showed up to it and didn't know, we'd be like, here are the nominations. We'd be like, what? And it's funny you say that, because I think that's probably why the older shows did better, is because like people just had to hear about it like through the grapevine, or like their neighbor told them or something. Whereas like we have social media, we hear everything.
But see, like, I don't know how other people feel, but on that take, I feel like that would make me
Mm-hmm.
watch more of the movies than now, because I know the nominations and I probably only seen one movie from that list, as opposed to
Right.
what if they just secretly kept it from me, and now I'm seeing, oh wow, Coda did a really good job. I'm gonna go see that right now. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, I
Right.
feel like that would
Right.
push me to watch more movies, because the suspense of, okay, what are these movies? And then I see them, I'm like, oh wow, I haven't seen them before. Let
Mhm.
me go stream that right now, or something like that. I don't know,
Yeah.
but
Was there any movie like that you hadn't seen before? That kind of like after you saw this Oscars that you're like, oh, I want to go check that movie out.
probably Coda. Yeah.
Coda was the number one. Yeah, because
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of years we come out of this and we're like, do we even learn about the movies? Like, there's always some extra drama or something else going on,
Hmm.
and it's a shame because I feel like Coda is such an important like film and story and all that, because it's about this deaf family and this person having to be this interpreter who's hearing in the family, and it just seems like a shame that that won Best Picture, but no one is talking about it today. No one is
Exactly.
talking about it,
Exactly.
and that stinks to me too. And my favorite thing is always the cinematography category. Like when I usually watch the movies, when they announce, I usually go to the cinematography movies first before I go to the Best Picture, because
Hmm.
I always like, oh, like what are they gonna do that looks so beautiful or interesting, like a Wes Anderson kind of thing.
Yeah.
And and I think that the order that they should do it in is like Best Actor, Best Actress, then they should do cinematography, and then Best Film or Best
Hmm.
Picture, because ultimately it's about cinema. It's about the look, the art of it. So I feel like sometimes I feel like that category doesn't get enough like attention.
That needs to be its own award show or something.
Honestly, probably like special effects,
Hmm.
like because there's a lot that goes into that, like costume design. What's one of your favorite categories at the Oscars?
Probably maybe like costume.
Like
Yeah,
when,
like a
yeah,
yeah, like anything to do with like designs on like the actors
set
or
and
actresses.
production and
Yeah, I like that the most.
I that one is one that like I don't think a ton about, that I do end up being like every time I'm like, wow, that is really well done. And
Hmm.
I love Cruella. Did you see Cruella?
Hmm.
The costumes design in that was like
Crazy.
insane.
Yeah.
Like insane. Like I like to me that's always a good indicator if a movie looks beautiful, if you could like print out a poster or something like that. And
Hmm.
they nailed that for sure. What else was we got here? Man,
Um,
just I mean it was just it was,
I
go ahead.
I was gonna say one thing I did appreciate, which I hadn't really thought about before, was them, kind of doing a TBT on old movies, like that it's
Oh yes, I'm glad you
turning
mentioned that.
like a certain age, like Juno, or like
Yes.
I don't even know another movie that they say, but like that one stuck out to me. I was
James
like,
Bond, yep.
or
White
Pulp
Man Can't Jump,
Fiction.
yep.
I was like,
Yes.
wow,
That is something they need to keep doing.
yeah, because you kind of forget these old classics, and once they're
Yeah.
brought up, you're like, oh my god, like those were movies that were really like that just stuck a core memory of
Classic.
mine. Like I remember watching these
I
a long
think
time
it's
ago.
I'm really glad that you brought that up, because that was something I did want to mention and I completely forgot. I think if yeah, people are already super nostalgic about everything right now. So just
Hmm.
bringing that stuff back, like someone had said the Twilight crowd or the cast were like all together for the first time in the same
Oh.
building since they shot. Obviously, they didn't all hang out because Robert Pattinson was in an entanglement. He got into an entanglement with Kristen Stewart and the director. So I don't think they're all the best of friends, but
Yeah.
I was like, that would be awesome if every Oscars they did that and maybe allowed them to present. Like maybe like there's like 3 or 4 or 5 groups that get honored every Oscar. Because
Yeah.
like imagine like I don't know, like everyone from the like Marvel's Avenger, like that End Game,
Oh,
like all like in like 20 years, 15 years, like they all came together.
yes.
It's like they don't tell us, and then all you hear is like Avengers assemble, and then like everyone like walks out. We will legit cry, like straight tears, you know.
I
Like I'm
love
getting
that.
teary-eyed right now thinking about that. Like
Oscars, if you
imagine
hear
Chris
this.
Evans. I know. Imagine, like, I want you guys to close your eyes. Close your eyes and envision this. Chris Evans is walking out at the 120th Oscars, and all of a sudden, he has the hammer in his hand. He goes, "What's this doing here?" And he's nice and old and cute. He's like in his 60s, got his little cane. And he goes,
Oh,
Avengers Assemble. And then all of a sudden, Robert Downey Jr. walks out, Scarlett Johansson, probably Millie Bobby Brown at that point. He's going to be in the Avengers. Like,
oh my
you know, like
God.
that would just be such an incredible moment, really.
It really
would
would.
love
I
that.
think people would love that. Absolutely. Like, it just brings back so many memories of just us enjoying those moments of watching it with like our friends and families and being in the
Yeah,
theater. Who knows if theaters will be in existence, 40 years from now.
I know. It's so sad. I will say though, like it's not completely the same, but like like I did virtual reality movie theater, and like you can talk to people they're like next to you, and they're so good about it where it's like if you're like far away from someone, you don't hear them as much in your like headset. It's which is so weird, but like it's kind of a fun thing I think to do with your friends. Like you do like
Yeah,
little watch parties. But we're
absolutely.
just very far from that because of like legal reasons and streaming and all that stuff. But before we go, one final question I'll ask is if you could bring back one movie cast and crew to get like honored at like the next Oscars, which would it be for you?
The
You can
next
take a moment to think about
Oscars.
that.
Ooh, a movie. Okay.
Yeah.
Like an Oscar nominated movie.
I don't know. Does it have to be? I don't think it has to be, but probably has to be. And it can be anything nominated, honestly.
Oh God. I'm trying to think of like my favorite movies, but I also want to think of like the cast too. I don't know.
I know. I'm like, if they're gonna do it, I want it to be like a fun cast. That's like, yeah.
Yeah, because oh
Um,
man.
this might sound silly, but one that comes to my mind that might actually work is the Hangover guys. Zach Galifianakis, Bradley Cooper.
That's a good
What's his
one.
name? What's his name from The Office? Andy Bernard. You know.
Oh, what is his name? Jason? No.
No.
Uh
Ed Helms.
oh yeah, I'm thinking of like Jason
And the
Sudeikis or something.
and the guy who plays Doug is Justin Bartha. Ken Jeong was in that movie. That was his first movie. Mike Tyson was in that. Mike Epps.
That's a good,
Yeah,
yeah,
that would be a good one.
that's a good crew. Yeah. I like that actually.
The High School Musical cast to have them come back together.
See, that's what I was thinking. That's the first thing that came into mind.
Yeah.
But I'm like, but was it Oscar worthy? Like, were they like nominated ever for an Oscar?
I don't think they were nominated for an Oscar. However, they definitely revived the musical genre. Like musicals were kind of dead until like High School Musical popped off, and then like they got real popular again. Because then after that, Glee came and all these other things. What are some other great? Let me look up top Oscar movies of all time. Let's see.
I'm trying to think, man.
Slumdog Millionaire, Boy Dev.
Good one.
Moonlight, Shape of Water, Sound of Music, Lord of the Rings. That could be a good one.
Oh, that could be good. Okay.
Isn't there like an ensemble category at the Golden Globes?
I think there is.
That might be for television though.
Ooh.
So maybe that's not a thing. Try. So I'm gonna read back some of the best pictures that actually won. So Coda, Trial of Chicago 7, Parasite, Black Panther, Three Billboards, Hidden Figures, Spotlight, Birdman, American Hustle, Argo, The Help, The King's Speech, Inglourious Basterds, Slumdog Millionaire, Little Miss Sunshine, Crash, Lord of the Rings, Chicago, Traffic, Shakespeare in Love, Apollo 13. See, a lot of those like really don't have like a cast that would make me go like.
I know.
So I feel like they would have. I feel like they would have to open it up, just so it, and also that would make it less stuffy too. You know what I'm saying? Maybe what they could do is like, because they want to like make it more about fans and like a little bit more modern. Maybe those movies are kind of like the ones that fans get to vote for. Like, oh, what crew or like people do you want to see?
Oh, okay. I like that. Like, oh, have they done that before? Now that I'm thinking, like,
No, because they could do like a hashtag Twilight, and then everyone's like, "Oh, let me like that one," and then it would get people talking about the Oscars. And then, to your point, if they don't tell us who they pick, that would be a great reveal.
Oh, that would be. I like that.
They need to call me to
You need to
stop
give them.
playing. Like, call me.
You need to give them your PR moves or whatnot.
I know. I'm like, yo, I might put a little resume in after this.
Hell yeah. Do a TikTok video like
Oh,
PR
boy.
moves that I would do for the Oscars.
Right, exactly. Let me write that down. All right. But all right, that's gonna do it for tea time, Mr. YouTube friends. See ya next week, and we'll see you in the next video. And remember, just be you. Peace. Okie dokie. And now we're just on TikTok.
I don't even know if people could have heard me. If you didn't, I'm sorry.
I know. Neither do I. I was like, people here. We got like 20 something people in here at one point.
Nice.
I saw.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, shut up, Apple Watch.
They have live intros now on TikTok. Interesting.
I've never heard of that.
Oh boy. Multi-guest host. All right, well, we'll have to figure that out then. Figure out how we do this next time.
Are we still
so you
on
get your
YouTube?
little background if you want.
No.
No.
Oh, we're not?